Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be taking a look here at NIO stock. Now this is one that I mentioned only just a few days ago in my top 3 stocks to watch video, and in that video I actually had this set up on the chart. I thought that NIO was going to be forming a flag here, maybe with a possibility of a reversal to the upside, but now that we've gotten a couple more days of price action here, it's become very obvious that NIO is putting in a set of descending lows, so that means that the price is continuously getting lower and lower, and as you guys see here, it's looking more like a bearish flag than anything else, and I really think that based on the probability of this setup, there's going to be a lot to talk about where NIO could be selling off to. So as always guys, if you want to know what levels to watch on NIO, where I'm personally going to be buying with this stock, and what signs we need to be watching to know whether this is going to be a breakout to the downside or to the upside, stay until the end of the video, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you did learn something new. Now, before we get into the technical analysis, I do want to remind you guys to bear with me because I am on a business trip right now, and I'm so sorry for any echo on the mic. I can't control the conditions in my Airbnb or the furniture, so it's just an unfortunate reality, but I do want to present a lot of great information with NIO stock and show you guys the clear levels here to watch. So if you bear with me to the end, I swear that you guys will get some great information from this video. And looking at NIO right now, you can see that we are at a pretty precarious point on the stock's price. And not only that, the technical analysis is forming a very dangerous sign that we need to keep keeping our eye on if you are an investor on NIO. Now, ultimately, this usually represents a break to the downside when this bearish flag does form, and the bearish flag that I'm mentioning is this one right here, highlighted in pink, so it's very easy for you guys to see, and it is obviously not a coincidence that this bearish flag is setting up right on the 200 EMA, which is the bluish green line that we really try to keep an eye on in all of my videos. Now, in the past, I explained that this bluish green line ultimately shows us the long-term direction of a stock, and it really is not surprising, like I just said, that NIO is having trouble breaking below this line, and you can see that it has been a very obvious point of resistance, more than this support point at around $34 over the next few days. Now, a lot of people are saying that this wedge could break to the downside, but it's going to be very hard for me to understand why with so many good pieces of news coming on NIO stock, and I feel like a lot of investors are in that same boat where they're kind of confused why a company like NIO, which was just having highs at around $65, is seeing these rapidly descending price targets at around 30, 35, and even other targets that I've heard on YouTube or in the news over the last few days. So I want to present my own price target of what I think is going to be happening with NIO and what necessarily you should watch over the next few days if you are an investor on this stock. Now, like I said, the 200 exponential moving average is going to be that bluish green line on the chart and is ultimately one of the most important things that we need to watch with NIO because it will represent whether this stock wants to sell off or whether this stock wants to continue to the upside. Now, we've seen a lot of other companies in this industry like XPEV and like Lee break under this line, unfortunately, and have a lot of trouble coming back above. So if you guys are watching NIO, this is going to be one of the most important things happening over the next few days, and a break below this 200 EMA or a breakdown out of this wedge, which is this pink triangle that we're identifying right here, is going to be pretty catastrophic for the stock. But as you can see, fortunately, we do have a level of support very, very close to where the price is trading right now. So ultimately, my best analysis with this wedge breakout is that we do see a breakout to the downside, then the price target I'm going to be watching is going to be around $30 a share. I don't think it's really realistic to think NIO will come down below this price, but if we do see a holding of this price with NIO, and if potentially we can get a break to the upside, which is kind of improbable looking at the pattern in the setup, I would be expecting a price target of around 50 to be hitting very, very soon with this company. Now, as you can see, even though we are at a lower price here, the stock has remained almost flat in volume. It's not really a great sign with NIO stock, but usually the volume ramps up when the stock is going to decide what level it's going to break out at or when it is going to break out. So that's what I'm going to be watching over the next few days. As you can see, clearly here, NIO has been printing a lot of dojis inside this pattern, and a doji is going to be this candle right here, where you can see that the price opens and closes at almost the same exact level. So that's printed almost 2 to 3 times here in this pattern, and what this is going to mean is that there really is a lot of indecision with NIO. There are people who think it's going to rise, and there are people who think it's going to fall. As well, you can see that the volume has been pretty much red, green every single day, and there's really no consensus on what's going to happen with this company. company. Now, obviously, anybody who sees this around $36 and is a long-term investor is probably thinking that this is sort of going to pass very soon. But ultimately, like I said, if we do get a break below this 200 EMA, I would be very worried as an investor, because this means that the play is obviously out of contention for the moment and is going to be looking at a more bearish context for the next few weeks. Now, guys, this doesn't mean that NIO will never return to the upside, but I do want you guys to be very cautious of a stock like NIO. They're one of the most traded stocks on the stock market, and sometimes this gives people the false impression that they have to continue rising like a stock like Tesla or Apple. But unfortunately, NIO has also a dark cloud over it, and that's the fact that they trade in the Chinese market, and they really do operate a lot of their business in the Chinese market. Even though they're looking to expand to Europe and other nations here, it is going to be very, very critical, the fact that they are in China and the fact that there is a lot of uncertainty around not only the price targets and delivery numbers for these companies, but also the market they're in. And at the same time, this company NIO has been facing a major chip shortage, which is also affecting some of our other favorite stocks like AMD, Lee, or XPEV, including Nvidia as well, which I've been trying to trade over the last few days. But as you guys know, it's been very, very choppy with some of these tech names and also with a lot of these chip related names. So if you are trading NIO, there is a lot of pieces of news that you need to have in your basic mind and that you need to basically be keeping an eye on, because not only is this wedge going to break out pretty soon here, there's also going to be a lot of pieces of news coming with NIO stock. And I ultimately think that in the long run, this will be a winner. But right now, it might be time for a long pause on NIO. So that's what I'm trying to help you guys see here and be wary of. If the stock does break out downwards out of this wedge that has been forming over the last week and a half, then that will be a very, very bearish sign, and I will not be touching NIO stock until we at least see $30 or any break below that price, because obviously this stock will be out of contention. And even though there is a great opportunity to trade to the upside at these lower prices, I urge you guys and I beg you guys to wait until there is a clear sign of a reversal before you hop in or add shares to this position. Now, obviously, if you are a long-term investor, adding shares at any lower price than your average cost is a great move on NIO or on any other stock. But ultimately, with NIO, I urge you guys to wait until we do get a breakout out of this wedge. If we break to the upside, then more power to you. You waited and you did get a great confirmation of a break to the upside. But if we do break to the downside, there is a lot to be basically had with NIO, and there's going to be a lot of turbulent times coming. So as always, guys, I hope you appreciated this analysis. Make sure you keep your eye out with this stock, because there will be a lot of price action happening over the next few days. But ultimately, I do not advise to buy in with puts, because they do not gain value as quickly as calls on the market, and there's a lot of people who are more hesitant to jump in on puts than calls. So as always, guys, that's going to be one of the main reasons why I'm staying away and why I won't trade a put if we do see a breakout to the downside. But ultimately, I will be looking for a very long-term position with NIO. Once they do hit around $30 or even $25 a share, yearly contracts would be absolutely fantastic. So as always, guys, please save your money and don't spend it when a stock is clearly in a downwards direction. Wait for an obvious sign that it is time to jump in. As always, I hope you learned something new. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe down below. See all our links in the description. We have the link to the free Discord, which is where I post all my daily plays and signals, and where I'll be letting you guys know that I am hopping back into NIO, back into AMD, Boeing, etc. A lot of these other names that we've been talking about over the last few days, which have unfortunately been taking a pause and a break even below the 200 EMA. So as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope all your plays are in the green.